오셨습니다. 오늘 한인사회 100년 대계 우리가 이민 1세 또 2세들이 가진 막중한 그 책임을 논의하는 자리를 이 자리에 이렇게 마련했고 여러분께서 와주시고 특히 우리 패널께서 이렇게 참여해 주셔서 저희로서는 엄청난 그 영광입니다. 대단히 감사합니다. 오늘 회의는 기록을 위해서 우리가 영어로 진행을 해야 될 것 같습니다. 질문을 하실 분께서는 영어가 불편하시면은 한국어로 말씀해 주셔도 좋겠고요. 우선 Good Neighboring Campaign, 우리 좋은 이웃되기 운동에 대해서 설명을 드리면서 간단하게 제가 한 7분 정도 사용을 하고 그 포럼에 들어가도록 하겠습니다. 저는 박선근, I am Sonny Park. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. About 50 years. Came to the United States in 1974. It's the 48th year for me. Then I'm running a janitorial service company in Atlanta, Georgia. I started in 1983, which is about 40 years. And we've been cleaning toilets for over 40, almost 40 years. I started business, we clean about 8 toilets. Now we clean about 1 million toilets every night. So God was blessed, myself and my business. So I'm one of the most blessed person in the whole world. And I'm standing up here and happy. Thank you so much. Since I clean a lot of toilets, I could make more money than I need. So I was praying and try to find out how to use that my excess, the money I have extra. And then I need to figure out, I have two things come to my mind. I called it God actually call me and give the mission to do this. One of the two is this, the Good Neighboring Campaign. I have not graduated. I don't have a college degree, although I have a 3 honorary doctorate degree. I don't have a formal college degree, but I made myself a good American. I am still working on try to be one of the best Americans in this country ever had. I arrived in the United States in 1974, and then I decided when I landed at Chicago Airport, and I decided to be one of the best Americans this country ever had. And then 8 hours later, I found a job. About 11th hour, I started making $1.80 an hour. I was cleaning the kitchen of a steakhouse. And then fast forward, and today I'm standing here and then asking you to join all of us. There's a lot of volunteers, like Henry Kong and Mr. Zhou Guangdong, working throughout the community campaign, stimulating the community to improve and enhance our perception and the image of a Korean American. This is, I thought that a lot of our colleagues think it's a very important task we need to do. So you can, throughout today, I'm going to facilitate the forum. However, I am not expert on leading the meeting or any such a forum, such important subject. But I've been doing this for many years. So what I'd like to see today is after I introduce the panel, the panelists up here, that we will have a little rule that because in such a small time, this is 3:25, and then about next 2.5 hours, we're going to discuss a very important subject. We would like to discuss, there are no wrong answer, no right answer, but this is a very important the forum to express your feeling about the subject. The 3 different subjects is going to come up at the screen later on, and who we are we important to this country? It's a very important question for all of us. decided to move to the United States. We didn't come here just to make a living. I think that God has a better reason to put us in a position like this. And then you, so many people live in the New York area, so many Korean Americans live in the New York area, and you the one, actually, came here this Saturday afternoon, and you'd rather be here than other places. And I'm so grateful that you are the special chosen people that come here, that you rather spend time with us. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the panels. And we have one panelist not here yet, Mr. Levy, here yet, but I would like to introduce the panelists here today. If you go through this booklet, there are the list of panelists here today. Well, first of all, the General Larry Ellis is here with us. It's such an honor. General Larry Ellis is a 4-star general. When he was a 2-star general, he stayed in Korea. He was a representative of United Nations, and he was actually Panmunjom. He was a man handled the deal with North Korea and all the armistice policies discussions. He's a man. When he got promoted to 4-star general, he moved to Atlanta, Georgia. He was commanding general of a U.S. Army Forces Command, which is the largest military unit in the United States, with about 725,000 soldiers under his unit. Such an honor to have General Larry Ellis here. And he's been through, as you can imagine, been through as a minority of this country. So many things we can learn from his experience and the Black American community, what they experienced. We have Harlan Levy. Mr. Levy should be here, but he's not here yet. Actually, today is there's a Jewish holiday, so none of Jews is actually able to do any business. He may have forgot when he was agreeing to join us, and maybe later he found out, but I think he's going to come because I didn't hear anything about his regret. And then the next page here. We go to alphabetical order. It's Pastor Tony Jaewon Che Jin is here. That we spoke over the phone several times, and such a wonderful, the pastor and attorney is very unique, and I was so impressed with her background and her intention, and she's done a marvelous job and served the community and her clients in the U.S. and Korea. Thank you so much for coming in. And then Che Jun is here. I didn't get to see you. So glad to see you. So wonderful. Yes. Yeah, I didn't recognize you. And I'm so glad the mayor, Jun Che, is here with us today. And he just got back from Korea. You okay with the jet lag?
Almost there, not quite.
Yeah, Mayor Che was the city mayor for the township of Edison in New Jersey. And thank you so much for coming. He has so much to share as a successful businessman, also successful community leader, and the mayor, former mayor. There is so much to help us the subject that we're going to discuss today. And Mr. Joe Guangdong is from Chicago. He just arrived about 30 minutes ago. And then he took off about 10 o'clock flight and made it to New York. Welcome to New York, Mr. Joe. Thank you so much. And then Mr. Joe is a journalist, and some of the first generation probably read his columns. He's a straight talker. He's a man really been writing so much about the truthful, the facts. As a journalist, he was president of Hanmi TV in Chicago, and he was editor-in-chief at the Handuk Ilbo in Chicago for a long time. However, he was a reporter, the senior reporter at the Hanguk Ilbo in Korea, and then he had to flee the country when the dictatorship that the General Chen Duan took over the power, and he had to leave the country, and they settled in the Chicago area. Thanks so much. This is actually the third appearance of this panel, so thank you so much for your coming, Mr. Joe. And I have Henry Kong. Mr. Henry Kong is a friend of mine. I call him 형님, and all the time, because of what he does in New York area. Since about 20-some years ago, we started work together. Thank you so much for all your. He had to go to a store and pick up the water bottles and all this, setting up to find a place to have a forum here. Thank you so much. As you can read, he's a very successful businessman, and with his wife, Mrs. Sunny Kong, where is she? There it is. And then they're running very successful business and serving the community well. Thank you so much. And we have Dr. Abraham Kim is here. He also just arrived. He was in the place, actually he lives in DC, but he's the executive director of the Council of Korean Americans and CKA. And I'm one of the members there about 8 years. And then I am very proud the Korean American community has such an organization like the CKA. I think it's the one and only organization that I know members paying the initiation fee and also yearly due. And then there are about 500 members. Yeah, more than 500 members, professional members paying dues and working out. This is such a great organization. If you please check on the councilka.org. This is such a important. They bring a lot of different the necessary subjects to the community, and then Dr. Abraham Kim is running that organization very well since about 4 years, 5 years? 4 years. 4 years. It's a wonderful. Thanks so much, Abe, for coming here. Just so graceful that you share your time and coming here. And then next. Now we have Captain Jessica Ann Lucas. She's a captain of a retired captain of the U.S. Army. And she is at West Point 육군사관학교, 미국 육군사관학교 graduate, and she is a human resource expert and professional. She does a very, very good job at her job, and also she's still serving National Guard in Georgia. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia, but she is representing. I think she is the youngest among all of us. So I'm coming here. This is going to be a very unique situation. We have her in our panel. And now the next is Pastor Joseph Pong, the senior pastor of Manhattan Cornerstone Presbyterian Church. It's such an honor to have Pastor Pong. When I called him, I was really wondering, will he make the here? But my prayer answered, and then he's here. It's such a wonderful. He's got so much experience, and then thank you so much for coming. Not only you, but you came with the wife. His wife, Mrs. Pong, is also there. Thanks so much. And then Mr. Park. You know, this is an amazing thing. Just can't believe that Mr. Park, the Mark Park, 박명근, 저는 박성근, 이분은 박명근, 우리 근자돌이 그러니까. 근데 이분이 뭡니까? 수술을 그저께 하고 퇴원을 어저께 했어요. 그런데 여기 와 앉아 계십니다. 그래서 이 모습이 우리 한인 사회의 끈기, 용기 이런 겁니다. 저는 얼마나 감사하고 사실 걱정이 많이 돼요. 우리 바리가드 부인께서 같이 오셨는데 우리 애들 이렇게 쓰시고 퇴원하자마자 여기 오시고 너무나 감사합니다. 그런데 왜 목사님이 빠졌죠? 제일 먼저 해야 되는데 먼저 대학교 했죠. 오케이. 그 다음에 저고 우리 well, there's Mr. Levy just arrived. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Mr. Park?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Harlan Levy.
Wonderful.
Very nice to meet you.
I'm overwhelmingly pleased that such an honor to have you. I appreciate.
Thank you.
Mr. Levy that is here with us is important. He have such a, I assume he has such a wonderful the lessons that he can share, the experience that he can share with us, our community. And Mr. Levy is a former Chief Deputy Attorney General of the state of New York. And it's such an honor to have him here. Appreciate you coming. So I'm going to start myself. 제 소개는 미리 말씀을 드렸는데 저는 청소하는 사람이고 하다 보니까 이 일조회를 하게 됐어요. 그래서 아까 말씀드렸듯이 두 가지 하나님께서 저에게 두 가지 그를 부담을 주신 것 같은데 하나는 우리 교포 사회에 너무나 많은 분들이 저보다 똑똑하고 저보다 학식이 많고 경험 많고 한 분들이 많은데 어느 경우에서 지나다 보니까 저를 제가 저 백악관에 대통령 자문위원도 하고 미국 대학의 졸업식 축사도 하고 이렇게 하다 보니까 한인 사회에서 알려지기를 저 사람은 잘난 사람이다 하는 식의 평판을 듣게 되더라고요. 근데 사실 뒤를 돌아보면은 저보다 학식이 많고 능력이 많은 분들이 안 나와요. 숨어 있어요. 그래서 이분들이 나와야 한인 사회에 도움이 많이 되겠다, 발전이 많이 되겠다 하는 생각이 들어서 제가 이 Good Neighboring 캠페인을 시작을 했습니다. 어느 목사님이 지금은 뉴욕에 가시는데 옛날에 이게 7번째 세븐스 포럼인데요. 어느 목사님이 그러시더라고요, 저에게. 그래서 좋은 이웃되기를 하다 보면 언제 우리가 좋은 이웃으로 보게 되겠느냐 그런 말씀을 하더라고요. 그래서 저는 그랬습니다. 우리는 계속 운동을 하는 게 줄을 두고 나머지는 하나님께서 이루어 주실 거다 하는 생각으로 하고 있습니다. 생각을 했어요. 오늘 보세요. 이 패널을 보세요. 하나님께서 안 도와주시면 이 저명한 분들, 이렇게 인플루언셜하고 영향력 있는 분들이 이 패널에 오실 수가 없어요. 토요일 오후에 이런 자리가 마련될 수가 없어요. 저는 그것에 감명을 받고 용기를 받고 하고 있습니다. 또 한 가지는 지금 하나님께서 저에게 부름을 주시는 게 한 가지는 다른 거는 미국이 지금 좋아서 제가 왔는데 여러분처럼 수많은 나라 중에서 한국에서 이민을 가야겠다. 그 어느 나라로 가냐? 바보가 아닌데 제일 좋은 나라가 미국으로 왔어요. 미국 와가지고 아까 말씀드린 대로 오자마자 잡을 잡아가지고 돈도 벌고 했어요. 그 미국이 나에게 엄청 고마운 나라인데 내가 뭘 갚아야 되겠구나 하는 생각을 했었어요. 그래서 제 실력으로 제가 가진 백그라운드로 무엇을 해야 되나. So I decided to figure out what can I do. This country has a serious problem. I took advantage of what this country offered. So I feel responsible to pay back to this country. Such a great country. We have millions of people lined up to want to come. Some people even put their lives in danger and they take a risk and they try to come over illegally. They're not stupid. They're not the dumb. They are not fools. But they want to live here. Why? Because we are America, the United States, the best country in the world. Now, think about the 100 years later. Think about the 50 years later. And I was thinking, agonized about the future of the United States. And then we may not have anybody who wants to come live in this country 50 years later. The reason I was a pessimist, I am still pessimistic about that future, some of the future of this country, is because our children, our young people are not studying enough. I found an issue, very serious issue. We have 1.1 million high school kids are dropping out every year. You may not know about this. 110만 명씩 every year they're dropping out of high school. 고등학교에서 중퇴자가 생겨요. It was 1.3 million kids dropping out, and the government loosened up the requirement to graduate. So improved, instead of increase, they decreased the qualification, the requirement to graduate high school. So the number got better. That's the wrong way to go. So what I do is the subject, the responsible feeling I feel responsible to fix is a mentoring the high school dropouts. The two things I do today. So I am, I want to go through here, so it took too much time. And then if you focus, pay attention to the slides there. I want to thank the first, all of you, Mr. Henry Kong and volunteers, and Hun Chang, such a wonderful to have you volunteering for this forum. And there's the screen is out there for the panelists. And thank you so much for the guest speakers, the General Larry Ellison, Mr. Levy, that came here and to try to help us. You are part of the history. We have a small gathering here, but the televised, all these recordings are going to throughout the country, nationwide, and then we're going to stimulate that the Korean American is in the country to make sure they're aware they're American and they need to be the better and do better. They're already good, but they're better in the community affairs. And then thanks to the panelists and thanks to the participants. And thanks to media, there was the Korean American media in the New York area. There is such a good job that publicize our event. And then there are more to do as a forum ends, and then our report, a one-page report will come out and then spread out, share with the other the media in the whole country. And with special thanks to the Korean Church of Queens. This is a very good location, a very convenient located, and the room is very nice. Thank you so much. And the Good Neighboring Foundation, I already introduced talk about the Good Neighboring Foundation, but we are the power, the owners of this country, but the Korean Americans maybe not. I don't feel that we are realized. We kind of passively take the second row or sideline, and this is not right. So we need to come front, and we pay taxes. We are integral part of this country. So the Good Neighboring campaign is to start with the neighbors. We need to serve, and we need to do better in the neighbors. So that's the beginning of it. However, we have a brochure brought in here, so you'll have time to hope you can read. And then the value. I can't talk about 2 hours about this. We have so many, the value of the Korean Americans serving this country. You know that Dr. Sam Lee, he won the 2 gold medals for the United States, America. That was in 1948 and 1952, in the Berlin as well. And then Coley Kim. Coley Kim is a snowboarder. She won I think 3 gold medals for the United States. It's such an important. There are so many numerous athletes out there. So we work hard for the United States. We are the Americans of Korean ancestry. And then with so many military, and then we have Jessica on. She is a retired captain and West Point graduate. And then we have so many soldiers, so like Jessica on in the military, active and or retired. And then, as you know, the late Colonel Kim Jong-ok Daeryong, he was in Second World War and Korean War. And then CKA, the Council of Korean Americans, tried very hard to work with the Congress for the Congressional Medal of Honor, but so far we failed. So many Korean Americans in serving in the U.S. military. And then the Korean American values. So this is very glanced through. The American population is about 2 million, 1.9 million. That's a very, very important power. We are not normal Americans, so we are very hardworking. The productivity is unbiased, but I think we're double or triple. The productivity is compared to general Americans. So we are about 1.9 million power, and the $241 billion income tax we're paying, federal tax and a state tax. That's how much we pay in taxes. That's the Asian American, not only Korean Americans. And then we are part of the 1.6 trillion American buying power. It's such a tremendous, it can, 1.6 trillion can be a buying power of a small country. And then, excuse me. And then there's we're entitled that we are the true and genuine, integral Americans, but sometimes we are not act like an owner of this country. That's what I'm frustrated about that time to time. And also, we have the right, however, we're obligated to the country. We do pay taxes, we do other things, but I think it's important, some unwritten duties. It's like in the neighborhood, this country, this community, this neighborhood is formed by people, and we are the people. So we need to figure that out with the how to serve in each community where we live. And the Good Neighboring campaign is be an essential. So we catchphrase here and the campaign for be an essential family in your neighborhood. That's the how to do it, and that's the beginning to change our position and our image, community image. And here, the first thing I came to the United States that learned was this song. I'm not sure anyone know how to sing this. This land is my land, this land is your land. And then there was the elementary school song, but national anthem, and then this land is my land. That's one of the first two songs that I learned. And then I thought this is very important, you know. And so I'm going to sing it. It's not karaoke bar, but I'm going to sing it. So if anybody wants to, just follow with me. This is my land, this country. This is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. So America is mine. America is yours. It's not foreign country. The next is that we're going to start. Now is coming to my turn is end, but here, so we're going to all rise and then we're going to the American flag and the Pledge of Allegiance. And I ask Mr. Henry Kong to lead us, please. Please rise.
May I ask to rise toward to the flag of the United States of America and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic and for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Now, we're going to go ahead and start a session. And I have to the rule here. So the panel is going to speak. We're going to have several different rounds, but as the turn comes in, you can speak limited to 3 minutes. But we're going to start hearing the guest speaker first. The guest speaker has no limit. You can talk 2 hours here, but this that's so important. We got so much to learn. So I'd like to ask General Ellis that please come to the podium, and then you're going to stay there.
Do it from here.
Okay, that's fine.
Here or up there?
Yeah. I want you to be there. Please.
Okay.
If you can.